Yeah, so we'll start with the session. Today we have with us Reshma Sirwani, and she is worked with a lot of children. She has been a facilitator and teaching children and engaging as a facilitator with a lot of children. Besides that, academically, she is into IT. She is a database administrator, and she has worked as a database administrator rather. And just a minute, huh? And she has been having knowledge of different languages like C++, Visual Basic, .NET, Core, and Core Java, and other things. So as per qualifications, she has been doing that. She's been into communication and teaching with children, and interacting with children. Today she's going to talk to us on how do we maintain emotional quotient when we are engaging with children, ours as well as our children. So over to you, Reshma, for the session today.
Okay. So like today I'll be telling you all about how to improve our emotional intelligence for our benefit and for our child's benefit, and how important is the emotional intelligence. Okay. Let me start sharing screen. Okay, emotional intelligence for us and like for the child's future. Normally, like when we gauge our intelligence, we always look to the measures of the memory, the logical reasoning skills, and we look at the linguistic abilities of a child or for any individual. But with the increasing awareness, IQ as well as the EQ has grown its own importance, and people are getting awareness that emotional intelligence is also vital. But when it comes to emotional intelligence, the first emotional intelligence guidance is coming from the parents. So the parents are the first primary source to give direction of the emotional intelligence to the kids. So for that, like the parents have to be they develop their own emotional intelligence so as to they can guide their children. Okay. Now, the future of the jobs, as per listed by the World Economic Forums, the top 10 listed emotional intelligence comes among the first 10 listed jobs, by the World Economic Forums. This is because we are entering the fourth industrial revolution, where the which is mostly characterized by the artificial intelligence and robotics. So the skills which were the memory, the language, linguistic approach, maths and grammar, all is decreasing its importance, at the same time, because all is turning to the automation. So by by 10 years, down a decade, 30 to 50% of the current jobs which will be disappeared and will be replaced by the new jobs by the next decade, because of the automation. Now when this all jobs will be changing, so there are certain jobs which can't be automated. For example, if you can take the job of a nurse, the nurse jobs can't be automated. It needs to be served, but that job requires the emotion of love and compassion. There are certain another jobs, the job of where the creativity is involved, that type of jobs also require emotions, the emotions of, you can say, empathy, curiosity, a number of emotions involved in it. Such jobs require emotional intelligence, So looking at this technological advancement, going around the world, the parents need to change their children and raise their children with the emotional intelligence. Am I going fast? It's okay.
You're okay. Go ahead.
Yes, fine.
Yeah, you're absolutely fine.
Okay. Yeah, fine. So like I'll tell you, like, how education and emotional intelligence are related, like, Um, so you can look on the YouTube, that video which had been viral, 2 years before, the two doctors fighting in an operation theater, thereby leading to the death of the child. And in everyday news, like, there are always news, like, from the Bangalore or many tech companies, where the good engineers, they also end up quarreling in the murders and the suicide, So when you keep on seeing the scenario which is going around the world, uh, so it comes to a question, like, like being educated, then to how can people behave like this, So when you look at the word being educated and the behavior of the people, it is very rational. So when a doctor goes like and studies, he comes to be aware about the medicine. Engineer comes to know about the technologies involved, the programming languages involved. All education is going on. But even though being educated, it's not complete and it is not efficient till the time the emotional intelligence curriculum is not involved in it, because with the emotional intelligence, they come to understand the bias, how to behave, So what is emotional intelligence? So emotional intelligence is nothing, but it is a form of social intelligence that involves the ability of a person to understand one's own feelings and the other's feelings, and at the same time to discriminate among them. And after discriminating, to use that information to guide one's thinking and action. So here the emotional intelligence comes to give a pause to the one's own feelings and then respond, Okay, are you getting? So emotions, like, if you talk about emotions, there are a number of emotions, like, each person in every pace of time has got certain emotions. So when you say the emotions, like, you can't be judgmental and biased saying that, no, this emotions are not good or this emotions are good, like, So we have to look at each and everyone's emotions and thereby look at the emotion and then decide whether that particular situation is being served by that emotion or no. If not, we have to shift our emotions. So that practice we have to give to ourselves and to our kids, so that, like, our emotional intelligence is raised. Okay. Reacting versus responding, the crux of emotional intelligence. This like, for training emotional intelligence or giving emotional intelligence to children, normally, like, the marshmallows experiment is being done. So in this marshmallows experiment, what happens is, what they do is, they give a marshmallow to a child, saying that, the child, that the marshmallow is given to be eaten, but if the marshmallow, if they don't eat, if he or she doesn't eat for 15 minutes, the second marshmallow will be given to the child. So it is so much difficult for the child to resist the eating, he is so much tempted to eat the marshmallow, but then too he has to wait for 15 minutes so that, like, he gets the another marshmallows. So, like, when such test was being taken, the number of the children who were tempted, there were many, like, who resisted this, there were many who ate it up, you know, the main purpose of this marshmallow experiment was to test the children, that how much they are able to resist their feelings, how much they are able to hold like their pleasure. So the finally, after like, you know, the experiment, they came to a conclusion that like there were children who delayed the pleasure, you know, of eating marshmallows, and that delaying the children who delayed the pleasure, that process is called delaying gratification. And those children were able to score high in their aptitude test. You know, the things were related, you know, the things were related, and the children their marshmallows, you know. So different type of children, different emotions, they lead to different situation and like, you know, the success or failure in life. So this marshmallows, with this marshmallows experiment, this type like, you know, they came to a conclusion like, you know, that, you know, the children which who can hold the pleasure or who can delay, like, you know, they can like, you know, have like this thing like, you know, success and aptitude, and like they have like delay gratification, they have the high emotional intelligence. So there are certain children who are born with emotional intelligence. There are certain children who got like, you know, the born with emotional intelligence. But that doesn't mean that, you know, that you can't cultivate emotional intelligence in them. It is good that you can imbibe emotional intelligence in the child. If a child wishes to like, you know, gain that and tries to practice for the same. Okay, so emotional intelligence can be like, you know, next, like, you know, our brain, you know, our brain, it's like it has got the two types of thinking, like, you know, the first one which acts as like, you know, impulsive, it is like, you know, spontaneously we react, you know, to any situation or to any event. So that is like, you know, very natural, that is our impulsive brain like react to it. The secondly, our brain works on the which basis, the logical thinking and the reasoning thinking. So when we talk about emotional intelligence, it is our ability to develop, delay our reaction and response to the events later by engaging both systems of our brain. When you take like, you know, for example, when you take animals, you know, animals, they have an impulsive behavior, you know, they react like, you know, spontaneously to whatever situation. If you step on a snake, the snake will instantly give you a bite, you know, snake will not think like, you know, you are a politician or you are like, you know, such a good person or a bad person. That instantly spontaneous reaction by the snake will be there. So that is the impulsive behavior. Snake doesn't have a rational thinking or like, you know, another principle seeded in mind. But we human beings, like, you know, being developed, we have got like the logical thinking and the reasoning, you know. So at the same time, being like human and having that thinking approach, you know, most of the time we are lethargic to using that logic and reasoning approach, you know, to an event.
Please finish, Alika.
Lethargic. Yeah. So what we do is we lethargically we respond to an event, you know, we do that. So for example, like, you know, nowadays in the social media, like if you see like, you know, in this pandemic, everybody is in the social media, and see, if you look at the comments or if you look at the this thing, everybody, most of the people, they respond like, you know, spontaneously in an impulsive way without thinking like, you know, what will be the reaction of it or what will be the feeling like, you know, conveyed to the other end. It is an impulsive, like, you know, they respond in a impulsive way. this is the thing which has to be changed. We have to think both the ways, both sides feeling, and then give a pause, and then looking at the situation, we have to respond. So what we have to do, train ourselves, to grow in emotional intelligence. We have to train ourselves to whatever an event, look at our own feelings, then look at the other feelings, and then look at the situation. What is the situation? What is the goal of the situation? And thereby bias the feelings. We have to train our emotional intelligence in this way. So in social media, being lethargic and being, going in an easy way, just respond to a situation. This is what is going like, nowadays. At the same time, see, emotional intelligence, like, to whatever the situation, we respond instantly. We have to just look at it, think. We have to stop reacting and delay our response, because that will help us. Because when you take to our brain, when a message is conveyed to our brain, it just takes 90 seconds for our emotion to raise up and come down. We have to just hold for 90 seconds. In this 90 seconds, what happens, like whatever the reaction is there, whatever the the feelings are there, that are like, raised, and a chemical reaction is generated and gone in a bloodstream. So just wait for some time to react, and then, our emotions automatically get settled down. Then using both parts of the brain, like, the impulsive reaction, and then the part of the brain of thinking logically, and then responds to a situation for the win-win situation. So that is what emotional intelligence is, which goes with reaction and responding. Responding mindfully, a hallmark of emotional intelligence. Okay. Like whatever, like, we have to respond mindfully. But, when we talk about, like, the Indians' belief and the Indian culture, handling emotional intelligence is very difficult in case of India, because the India we have certain um, conditions in our India, and we have certain bias thinking. So, like, for us, like, emotional intelligence is taken in another way. For example, if you say, like, in India, there are the people who talk openly, and the people who are very free, like, they, without filtering their emotions, if they keep on saying everything, we say that person is, like, quite free enough, and, like, very open, like, open minded, very innocent, we say. The other way around, like in India, if we go to a funeral, and if we don't whip, so in Indian, we like, people look around as if they are heartless. Nowadays that is reduced, but before that was the scenario. Like, they are heartless. So such type, when we don't show our emotions, what you say, when we don't show our emotions, like, in an impulsive way, then that is a tag a person has to take. And if you take another scenario also, like, in India, there are people who have a very bad way of using bad language, giving bad words, and talking. But then too, there are people who then to keep relation with those people, and be friendly with those people, saying that they are very good by heart, only by speech they are not good. So that is the way the Indian culture and beliefs are there. Hello? Yeah, so that is the way the Indian culture and belief are there. So in India, when you say, like, the impulsive way of emotions, to show, that doesn't go. Like in India, we have to they have like, you know, the conditioned impulsive approach which is to be used. So that is nothing more like, you know, than tolerating, you know. It's like sometimes it turns to be a tolerance, you know. So after understanding the proper emotional intelligence, what it is, we can change our perspective to looking all the situation and coming up to a solution of handling this situation in a different way. Okay, even see, if you take it impulsive, like, you know, if you respond to a situation then to its problem, and if you are like if you think rationally and have a logical way of looking to emotions and then responding, then to you get a tagline of you are diplomatic, you know. He's quite diplomatic enough, you know, he manipulates things. So that is a tag you have to take around. So people are at the same time afraid of taking the tag of being diplomatic, because the diplomatic tag is mostly used for the politicians who are not trustworthy. So that is the behind scene. So people don't like the tag of taking, yes, you know, I am diplomatic, I am manipulating. So when you talk about emotional intelligence handles this both cases. And you know, instead of reacting impulsively, like, you know, you have to wait and then look at the situation, and as per the situation, you have to like, you know, take to a proper conclusion. Okay. So like this is what in India it is happening, like, you know. And most of the time what happens, parents are most possessive for their children, and like, you know, they are more like, you know, they are more like, you know, possessive for children, and they are like no to their children. So what happens is, like, if you go to a toy shop, like, you know, and a child says, like, you know, one toy, then child again asks for the another toy. So like parents, what they do, it's like, you know, they get like, you know, possessed, and then they keep on giving, like, you know, satisfying their children for whatever they want, you know. So this approach is a wrong approach. Psychologically, what will happen then, the child will understand that by crying or by putting such an approach, his desire is being fulfilled, you know. So that mistakes the parents usually do, like, you know. So this impulsive way of behavior of the parents has to be changed. The another approach has to be used, like, you know, before going out of the house, parents have to give a disclaimer to the child that only one toy will be given, irrespective of you like how many ever toys you want. So in this way, the emotional intelligence has to be developed in the children, so that the child also gets practice of the delay of gratification, you know, stopping oneself. Okay.
Yes, all is well.
Are you all getting?
Yes, yes.
Yes, it's very interesting topic, Reshma. Very interesting
I'm
topic.
not able to hear.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Hello.
Screen got freeze or what?
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Are you all getting?
Yeah, we
Yes,
are
yes,
getting.
we are getting.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, just a minute. Just a minute. Okay, I was here. So like okay, fine, like, you know, the this thing, like the parents, like, you know, often, like, you know, mistake of, like, you know, satisfying their children and fulfilling their desire, so which takes them to, like, you know, less level of emotional intelligence. Role of emotions in learning. Okay. So in this, like, emotions, when you talk about, like, emotions in learning, when a child is in education, we in Indians have, like, more this thing towards the maths and science and languages, so we make our children learn, like, these are the core subjects, maths and science, you know we keep on, because without that there is no career. This is our mindset, so, like, we always resist our children to keep on learning this subject and more attention to this subject. So sometimes what happens, the child, it's like, has got resistance for some subjects. At the same time, the child may be having the fear of science, or maybe having the fear of maths. And when we say a child has got a fear of a certain subject, and then we relate that fear to the negative emotion, like, as if the child is not capable of doing that certain subject, that relation is, like, wrong. Some, see, every event or everything has certain emotions associated with it, if a subject, like a child is having fear to a subject, you can also take it in the other perception, like, look it in the another way, like, the child is eager to learn, or he is more anxious to learn, like, and help the child to overcome whatever the thing, like, weakness it is, in irrespective of taking it in an angle that the child is incapable of doing it, see, scientists, they keep on doing, like, experiments, and 99 times they fail in succeeding an experiment. But the 99 times whatever the experiment they do, in each failure is a frustration for a scientist. But at least at final day, they have a goal in mind of achieving that, for which they keep on doing it again and again. But that frustration, that doesn't mean, like, the negative angle of doing it, okay? So in the same way it goes for our kids, so everything has got its emotions attached. So there are number of emotions: the fear, frustration, like, dislike, good, bad. What is the main thing which we have to train our children is that to be aware of the all types of emotions. Our child should be aware about all type of the emotions, what are the different types of emotions, and then a child should be able to understand what is the goal and how to upcome to achieve that goal, how to shift our emotion to achieve that goal. Like the way the scientist, like, 99 times the scientist gets frustrated, but the scientist never gives up, and the final he gets the success. So our child should be able to face all the types of emotions and come up with its own solution in a success way. We shouldn't teach our children, like, if there is a failure, or if there is a no, like, if he in home, like, if he wants something, and if we doesn't get, so he gets, like, upset and he sits. So we have to teach our child, to shift the emotions and look at the environment, and as per the environment the child has to be happy always, and understand, like, what is the way of handling emotions. So being emotional intelligent does not mean that the person is a manipulator or lacks sincerity. This was, like, the slide which I explained here, like, if a person is a diplomatic, he's in India, a person is always looked as he's a manipulator or lacks sincerity. But that is not the case. Link between emotions and values. See, like, in India we always teach, like, moral values to kids. Children are taught, like, number of values, and like number of like, ways, like, moral values via stories when they are very small enough. But we fail to teach them to link that to the emotions, see, we teach our children to respect elders, and that way we teach them. So, but we don't teach them, when you're traveling in a bus, and to respect elders, you have to offer a seat to the elders. We teach them this values, but in this values, what are the emotions which are being played, that we don't give touch of that emotions to the child. So, not every time, whatever the values we teach to the children, not necessary that values turn to be their own belief, until the time that values don't turn to be their belief, that will not turn into an action. For the values to turn to the belief and to turn into the action, they need to practice, how it is related. Otherwise, in our presence, they will be with the values, but in our absence, they may skip that. So we should give them a touch of the values and how these values are related to the emotions. Always a child should be taught, like in family, like in our Indian custom, what it is. We teach children, to touch the feet of the elders and take blessings, which normally everybody does in our Indian society. But when we teach them to touch the feet of the elders and give them a tight hug to the elders, so that will pass on the emotions of the love to the elders, which will give satisfaction and strength to the elders, as well as the love to the kids. So passing on this values with the emotions of the love, makes the relation more strong. Are you all getting?
Yeah, very nice example, Reshma. Really,
Very good.
it's,
Very good sharing.
yeah, very, very apt and very, very nice.
Okay, now next, channelizing emotions, firstly, the children should be aware, what are the different types of emotions, in the childhood, they should be aware what are the different types of emotions. This can be done, after talking with them, after discussing this different situations with them. And in this way, we can channelize, whatever the emotions they are going through, how to come up with it, Normally in day-to-day life, what happens, there are number of situations outside in school, even in the family matters, there are number of chaos going in the home as well, There are parents these days in the pandemic going through the financial frustrations. So irrespective of different situations, what happens is elders, they always uh, put all on the anger mostly on the kids, so the kids become the victim of the anger of the elders. So what happens, this emotions has to be channelized, So what when elders always put a victim, the children, they are vulnerable to listen whatever the parents have said, So what happens is why do parents do this? Why do parents make children victim, of their own anger or their emotions? Why don't they do the same to their boss? Why don't they communicate the same to the wherever the irritation is coming from? This is because there is an attitude the where there is the power, the you can't put on you can't put your aggression there, the power of authority. So the children become the victim. So we, in that case, we have to train our children to be sensitive to which type of emotions, sometimes they have, children have to go through this, even if it is boss, even if it is parents, there will be somebody who is superpower, who has got the authority, and will be frustrated, put all the emotions. So many times we also have gone through a situation like, हर बार मेरे पे ही गुस्सा क्यों आता है? Yeah, we can say like in office also, like, why the anger is always on me. So in such situations, what we have to do is like, we have to train our children to be sensitive to the emotions which you find like, is that suitable to you. If you find like, these emotions which are coming to you are not, proper, then you can shift to the another emotion, like, you can neglect it and then go ahead. You don't have to be a child that has to understand like, the other's feeling, which I said in emotional intelligence. A child has to understand the one's own feelings, the other's feeling, and then interpret what is the feelings like, and then as per that discriminate it, and then come to the situation solution. So we have to train our child that to be sensitive to which type of emotion, and if not pertaining to the yourself, you can shift to the another emotion and not be sad or not to blame